Alright, looks like we're off. The stream delay will probably separate these two for a little bit, but they'll get sorted out after a while. Don't worry about it. I don't know if Liquid's just testing his timer or we are actually getting underway. The timer can be a little bit confusing in speed gaming. In speed racing TV, sorry.
And don't worry about it. There is going to be the synchronicity of the timers won't be there, but we'll just pause one of the streams, and it'll be fine.
Yeah. I'm also working on getting the audio fixed. Alright, I think we're just about ready now. We're working on getting the audio fixed, but okay, right. Thanks for being patient with us. Welcome to this race between LiquidWiFi and Vapo41. These are two very good runners, both in the top 5, I believe. And should be a very, very entertaining race today.
Yeah, it's probably the first race we've had that realistically could be a final as well. So we are looking at a very, very interesting race, although we are having some technical difficulties.
Thanks for bearing with us. So basically, for those of you who don't know, this is the Simpsons Hit and Run. This is a game developed by Radical Entertainment. And this is the all-story missions speedrun. In this speedrun, we complete 50 missions, 49 main story missions, including a tutorial level.
And I would almost say that developed is a strong word, considering all the exploits we found throughout this game. Vapo taking a bit of a stranger through Petty Theft Homer. Not really sure what's happening, and also we are seeing a bit of a... I'm not quite sure what the time difference is right now, because it is difficult to tell on Petty Theft. We'll see how Vapo gets on in the later part.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately it's not quite synced up at the minute. We are doing our best to get this back under control. I'm not quite sure if we've got the audio yet either. Which is unfortunate.
Okay,
but...
at very least we have audio on our end, so we'll at least say that everything is getting fine. Meanwhile, Liquid talking to Homer. We're gonna see some proper strats, like we have seen some good runners, great runners, but these are kind of absolutely top tier.
Yeah,
except
definitely.
for the Vapo Orc race that I was lucky enough to commentate. We've not seen like runners who will see consistently get nearly every single strat. So we'll almost just assume things like they know the distance you have to be away from a character to ensure that your vehicle doesn't bomb. We'll see all those things just fall into place. So it's going to be very interesting to see this in comparison to earlier races where you might see people who, for example, don't know that a good way to queue up the Petty Theft Homer trick to make sure your car doesn't despawn is to park in Ned's driveway, not in his lawn.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Liquid getting the not Ute.
So yeah, like I said, we're in for a very good race today, these two top 5 runners. Obviously, Liquid holding the world record. This is the first race he's been involved in. And this is the second race for Vapo. He beat Auckland in the first round in a very, very good race. Vapo playing very well that day.
Was indeed. Now Liquid is now on Smitherstrat. Typically considered the first kind of gatekeeper of a run.
Yeah.
With the Ute, which is the less tough of the two traffic vehicles we use, although the quicker, so we will see an advantage when it comes to Flowers by Irene.
Which is not the next mission, but the one after. This U here, it does do a lot of damage to Smithers' car, which is what we need. The people carrier does a lot more, but then in Flowers by Irene, we are going to go a lot faster when following the black van. So obviously, it makes up for the time. It evens itself out. Liquid now on to Blind Big Brother. It's one of the only missions that we do entirely on foot. And by doing it fast enough, you're able to make a good cycle, which Liquid looks to be on right now. And you can do this without having to wait. You can do the entire mission without really having to wait if you get a really good cycle. And all you're really doing is destroying these power outlets. Not too much to it, as we see Vapo get the Smithers strat.
And I will ask anyone who's actually in. Ooh, Liquid falling down. That is a
just
very
dropping off there, Liquid. That's
not too much of a time loss, but definitely not for a top tier runner.
Not something Liquid you'll see Liquid commonly, yeah.
Now, I will just ask anyone who is in the actual streams of the runners, please don't put any spoilers in chat because there is going to be delay, and we don't want to, you know, there is sometimes spoilers where the runners will type in chat if they miss a cutscene skip. Meanwhile, Vapo not going for the button jumper, attempting and failing. But it's on a good cycle now.
On Liquid side, you're going to see the first unskippable cutscene of the run. Commonly known as sexy footage. Second, my bad, after the first one. These unskippable cutscenes, there's 2 different types of cutscenes in this game. You've got skippable ones and unskippable ones. The reason that some are skippable is because we're able to pause and just walk to the next mission. But the reason that these aren't is that the end of the cutscene triggers the start of the mission.
Well, not necessarily. There is also crap circles, which is within a mission entirely.
Yeah.
Basically, what we're looking for is a mission which is directly in between 2 missions.
Yeah.
Where it's initiated by talking to the end character and is also before the next one, obviously, because our attempt is to pause during a very brief frame window. And we're actually just pausing Liquid stream. Don't worry about that. That's intentional. We're just going to get the times together at 7:52. But we'll listen to sexy footage again, because who wouldn't? But yeah, we just want to get those very small frame windows in which the mission select is available to go into the new mission instead of watching the cutscene. Everyone in chat, we have 6 cutscenes between the 2 runners. How many do you think we're going to get out of 6? My bet is 5. I think we're going to miss one. I don't know who it's going to be, but I think it's going to be a Bar 2 cutscene skip by one of the runners. What's everyone's bets on? 5 out of 6? 6 out of 6? Let's see some numbers going. Appleson appears to be confident in both runners' ability. Make it rain, not so much.
A 0 from Damon, though.
0. No, there's 0.
2 zeros. I don't think we've had one yet where all the runners have missed every cutscene skip.
We have not, no. I don't think we've had many races where anyone's missed all the cutscenes. I think everyone's gotten 1.
Yeah.
Now, we will see both runners attempt to get the freebie. To briefly explain, I'll give you kind of like a vague technical one, but not the perfect explanation. Basically, in this game, only 3 wasps actually exist. They just teleport around the map to deal with the fact that there are 20 that do exist in the game. Only 2 at a time are available to be destroyed by your car. So we'll just main menu warp later in the mission, in level 2 especially, to reset that counter. So you'll see them try to pick up freebies. I believe Vapo didn't get it and Liquid did, if I was watching the stream correct. Look out!
Alright, so we'll see the two runners here attempt to get some more
Liquid getting
freebies.
a double
Liquid getting
freebie.
both of them there.
And we'll see how Vapo does. You will notice like a small speed difference
And he's
between the two
going
vehicles. Only getting one. Will he go
Oh,
back?
Vapo only getting one. Is he going to go back for the other? He doesn't.
He will not.
He may very well go for that in the final mission.
It's a bit of a time loss, I find. Approximately 1 second from what I've heard of its timing.
Well,
Liquid
potentially
going
could
for
be
that 1
worth it
point.
to try and get his coin route back on track.
For Vapo.
Alright, now we're into Bone Storm. Now, for any of you who have noticed so far, you can really tell this game is sort of a GTA clone, and it was heavily inspired by GTA 3. In particularly, this mission was almost directly copied from GTA 3 with a mission called Evidence Dash, where you will literally do this. You will drive behind a van, and you'll knock it until it drops all its items, collect them all, and then drive away. And this is exactly what we do here. You'll get used to this because we do this a few times in this game.
However, this one a slightly unique mission in its genre because we actually want the Bone Storm truck to continue in its direction.
Yeah.
In the case of, say, Bonfire of the Manatees, even though it technically is going in the correct direction, it's kind of volatile in certain areas. Bone Storm truck's a lot more manageable, so we're happy to see it continue because we need to get to the Simpsons house by the end of the mission where Liquid is right now, and we'll be going for the first pan skip of the game, which I assume he knows, obviously. I've seen him do it many times.
Hey, Homer.
I just saw that. If you warp to another mission after being in a car, which is not the level specific car, I believe it is.
I believe it's a force
then when warping to a new mission, you are able to skip a camera panning by pausing the game and unpausing the game. As both runners have done there.
Yeah. And all the pans are different, of course.
Yeah.
So there's different times you can skip with every single pan. Now both runners not messed up by Gambit Wheel of Fortune. And Liquid timing his beat to the music. Very, very nice, I must say.
And Vapo opting not to go for that Wasp again. He's going to save the time rather than go.
I think the family sedan has a much thinner hitbox than the minivan, because the minivan is a slightly taller vehicle.
See that Liquid with a mid 11:30 Homer 1.
Vapo
just at a mid 11:48. Very, very good by both runners. Liquid also lost a little bit of time at the start of the race by waiting for Vapo. He wasn't too sure what to do.
And a quick note, we are timing on in-game time, which removes all the loads. That's why there's actually, again, a lack of synchronicity between the timers, but that's just purely because Liquid will have fewer loads than Vapo, as you noticed towards the end of Homer 1, where we saw that loading screen for a few moments.
Yeah, we've already had an example of this coming into play. So in my race against Sadly, I beat Sadly by... I think Sadly beat me 6 seconds in real time, but because of the load, I beat him.
It was a magnificent race. Now, both runners will be trying to get fast car. Liquid I think he was hoping to find a fast car there, but it was not. And Joshua, yes, the auto is great. And we're seeing an implementation of the new coin route, basically. With vending machine and vending boxes, they have hit point 3, and they are designated a certain number of coins to drop in each. However, in Bar 2, vending boxes are kind of weird and they drop a strange number of coins when you kick them for the first time, but never mind that. But basically, we're just manipulating the fact they have their hit points and that they regain those hit points at the end of every single mission and every time we do a war, basically. Both runners in the taxi, a good vehicle, but worse acceleration than the fast car, and also a little bit harder to control.
But the reason that we use a traffic car in this mission is because there's going to be a lot of getting in and getting out of your car. By using a traffic car, we eliminate the animation of opening a car door.
Yeah, there's...
instead of jumping on top of a car.
I believe there's 7 times you have to get in and out of the car each throughout this mission, so it does do a lot that you don't have to A, jump on the honor roller, or B, just do the animation. Now, Liquid opting to get... I actually don't know if that's part of the new coin route. It's typically something I don't normally see people get, that vending machine. Perhaps it's a safety thing for the tournament?
Yeah,
or...
I think safety more than anything in this race in particular.
And you'll see Vapo now moving through this tunnel. Now, obviously you're playing a game for the United States. However, Raj and I both live in a place where we drive on the left. It's actually quicker to take that left-hand side because it's obviously just less road to drive on. Liquid going and getting the freebie. It's quicker, but more dangerous because you're going into oncoming traffic. So it's giving you much less time to react. Both runners successfully got Wiggum escape. Basically, he just spins out if you get away quick enough. I think it was supposed to be that we were to get the fireworks on foot, and then it was like a sting operation by Wiggum, and we were supposed to, you know, be caught totally by surprise and have to get in our vehicle to go on the run. Vapo also getting freebie, but also getting the vending machine at Krusty Burger, which I didn't see Liquid get. I don't believe he did anyway.
As you can see there, we're going for another traffic car in this mission.
If I didn't play so many video games, I'd be in better shape.
Purely because it's faster and we have to do a lot of driving in this mission. And it's just a lot faster than the honor roller.
And again, similar to Flowers by Irene, an example of rubber banding. In the earlier missions of this game, the game tries to make itself Liquid going for a new strat here and managing it. That saves about 7 seconds to force that van over the dirt ramp. We'll see what Vapo decides to do. Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Vapo is going to also join him if he has got the taxi, unfortunately, which makes it a bit harder to do.
I've heard people say that. I'm not personally going for the strat yet because I haven't done a run in the past few days since it became a new thing. We'll keep an eye on Vapo. Meanwhile, Liquid will be, I believe, one Safeway, so the van will not be attempting to get itself stuck, and we'll keep an eye on Vapo's screen for a moment. He will be going for the strat, and he will not get it, and he will actually get a slight time loss as a result of that. Now, as I said, this mission tries to make itself difficult to fail. So, the way in which you fail the mission, obviously, is if the van gets too far away. So, to make this hard to fail, the van will actually slow down if you go too far away from it. But we're obviously like, you know, we're speedrunners. We want to get this mission done quick, and the only way we can get this mission done is that black van getting to Herman's Antiques Military Supplies, I believe the shop is called. So we want to stay close. So whenever a runner falls behind that van, they're actually doing something quite wrong here. Liquid utilizing the game's reset system to warp to a different part of the highway and skip about 10 seconds worth of this race.
Gives us a short advantage, but it's better than nothing.
Crazy snake there, knocking over Wiggum.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That can happen sometime. This is also, just for note, this is also going to be the last time we see rubber banding in this game, because the next time we have a follow mission, that vehicle just goes out of control in a way, and has no fault for you at any point.
Well, I believe the next following section in game is for a few donuts more following Wiggum. If I'm correct. Meanwhile, Liquid going for
no, we got Slivery Sloovin as well.
Oh, yeah, my apologies.
Hey there, Mr.
Now, the main menu warp, as I said earlier, basically just resets that wasp counter so that Liquid can get 2 wasps with his vehicle. You can get them indefinitely by getting them on foot. Although, actually, this also works with ground pound. So, in March, if they have a freebie available, you might see in the Cola Wars, they will go to the neighbor's garden and do a ground pound, and they might actually destroy a wasp there.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see this main menu up another one time in this level, and then I believe once more in Marge's level later on in the game. We don't utilize it too much because there's not too many wasps that we have to get via it. So, but it's a very nice for early game for getting early coins.
Although I have seen some people use it prior to quick cash
as
a way to pick up the shake and rotate, as Vapo always refers to it.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, LiquidWiFi trying to get through these train cars using the reset system again and pausing for some reason. Not entirely
I don't know
sure
if that
why.
was an intentional pause or the game tabbed out, because for any of you who have played this game on PC, you'll probably experience that before, where the game will randomly tab out for no reason.
To be honest, I've never experienced that before in my life.
I have more than one time. It's unfortunate.
Now, that you'll see Liquid here, he'll go on a wide path, and the reason is because this sort of tricks Apu into going around the Krusty Burger into trying to catch us, and it gives us this opportunity to use this long straight to utilize Cletus's terrible, terrible truck with its terrible acceleration to escape. And we'll see Liquid here. It's kind of like a sign of the great runners of this game, like Scyther and Liquid. And I don't know, I think Orc also does it, and I saw Vapo not do it, is they'll actually run through the dark, they'll run through a cutscene, they'll run through all these things in order to get to a position they have to be. So you saw Vapo at the end of Bart and Frink use the pause buffer in the black screen to throw it away and then run towards the, I think it's a radio is he trying to get?
Mm-hmm.
Meanwhile, Liquid ran through the black screen. Liquid ran through a black screen, which is actually a little bit faster, for obvious reasons. Yeah. But it's kind of difficult, because this game's really weird with the way it maps out your movement. Sometimes when you go into a building, you'll press straight and then suddenly turn right. I have no idea why it happened. Liquid now using the new route for Monkey See, Monkey Do. It gives you
point out this time as well.
Much faster.
This is also a required car, which we saw in level 1 as well when we had to buy the Plow King.
Although
each level is going to have different required cars and required outfits, depending on what you need them for. So some have more than one, some have one of each. This level, for example, only has this one required car.
It's the only one with 2 outfits as well.
Yeah.
Now, a little fun fact, I think the new route for Monkey See, Monkey Do is actually inspired by Vapo's method of doing it in NG+, because obviously we don't need coins in NG+. Well, rather, there you go if you didn't know. And just in case Zotan's in the chat, Homer there selling a car to his own husband.
Yep. Alright, so this is a bit of a longer mission where we're only just collecting things, so at this point, if anyone's got any questions in regards to the game, please feel free to ask away and we'll answer.
Vapo getting the freebie and also opting to get the vending machine, which often I find is a little bit finicky because the corners in this game are very, very poorly mapped. And Fabricator and J663, that's just a joke because Zotan mistakenly said that during the UKSM run. Yeah. It was pretty magnificent, not gonna lie. Now you'll see here the difference in the new route if you haven't seen it. Instead of having to run across and grab a wasp, Liquid will just have to hop up and then go back down. And also it allows us to use the vehicle instead of having to run. It's actually slightly quicker that way because we don't have to actually go on there anymore.
I saw a good question in the chat here. What's your favorite mission? What's your favorite mission?
That's a difficult one. I know what my least favorite one is. It's for a few donuts more.
Unpopular opinion here, but I think Quick Cash is a really, really good mission. The armored truck mission, I really like it.
I think I might go for There's Something About Monty because of the Land of Chocolate music, which we only get to hear then and during the credit.
Alright, anyway, here's the first of destruction missions in this game. This is Sellouts. And as you can see, we're still using the Mr. Plow car, even though it's not the required car, it's the most optimal, instead of trying to do it with the honor roller. And in this mission, we look to destroy these cars in certain places so that we're already lined up, ready to destroy the next one straight after. As you can see there, Liquid destroyed that. He was able to turn straight down this road and destroy the next one.
Now he will be in a good position for the final car and should be on pace for about a 625, I think, if he gets reasonable destruction here, maybe a 630 if he does well. And I think this is going to be about a 623 or so, although I could be wrong. Ooh, 31. Jeez, it just shows how terrible my sellouts are that I just assume
anything above a 6 minutes, I think runners will take.
Well,
honestly,
I'd say at this level they're looking for at least. I'd say 630 is their minimum bar because they are.
Especially these top runners. In general, I think anyone would be happy with 6 minute plus. Yeah, we're going to see Liquid attempt the cutscene skip.
It's the only one-frame cutscene skip we have. However, if you're in first-person mode during the Apu cutscene skip, it becomes a one-frame. Now let's see. Might call a 5. It's still on, and whoever called 0, you were wrong.
Good job.
Now this is the second appearance of the nerd car. In the first mission, Vox Nuduli, it's actually 180 kilometers an hour speed, which is I think Liquid might have tabbed out, but it is faster than we can go, and very. Oh, 1 second. Did Liquid type in the chat or something?
Yeah, he tried spoiling the cutscene skip, but he got it anyway.
Debater. Vapo in a bit of a difficult position. I find this one to be a bit of a hard one because it's.
Oh my god, Liquid getting absolutely launched there.
Ooh, dear me. He might destroy the car. I think if he hits any of the heavy lampposts, he will destroy that car. And the closest wrench he has is the one on the reset he's going to use when he goes up the pier. And if he destroys his car, that's an automatic mission restart because this is a forced
but he's
vehicle.
doing very careful here. Instead of going for the turnaround strat,
We'll be fine. Yeah, normally we take like a little hit off the wall in order to force us to turn around.
Yeah.
But
getting
in that instant,
the wrench there.
If the smoke is that insanely dark color and we hear the engine kind of almost grumbling, that's a sign that the car is only one hit from being destroyed.
Yeah.
Vapo also getting the cutscene skip, both of them getting the hardest cutscene skip in the game. Although I see more people fail bar 2 weirdly, even though it's technically easier.
Now to get. Yay! I won! I'm ambulatory. Millhop. Hello, Springfield.
Now, what the hell happens in Clueless?
Not too fast, not too slow, just right. Millhop.
Oh, and it appears Roger's muted. I was gonna ask him to explain that for us.
Oh,
Okay.
sorry, go on. I'm just I just mute whenever I don't talk.
Now, Clueless is a
yes,
mission.
Clueless. So
Go for
it's
it.
sort of a newer route in the game. It's been implemented for a while now, but basically in this mission, it's just we drive around and we talk to Milhouse, and he just takes us around the map. Really, I think it's an introduction just to get you to drive around the map. But at one point, we go into a room in the Krusty Lou Studios, which is full of coins. Around about 150 coins we collect.
158 exactly.
Yeah.
In that room.
So, and it's very, very crucial for early game route. And I don't know if Liquid's going to do it because some of the top runners feel they don't need to do it anymore. Because they can get coins later on, but we'll see.
I'd be surprised if he doesn't, because it is one of the most efficient ways to get coins. I think. Oh, and he will not. Calling my bluff for perhaps saying.
Choice there by Liquid.
His coins are looking fine though. Normally, like after I get that, I have about 1,020 or so coins, and he's got 869, I believe, so he should be fine.
The number that is.
Meanwhile, Vapo on a similar coin count, so we might see a similar strat done by him.
Alright, here's a mission I believe you mentioned earlier, where we want to get him stuck even though he's going on the right path.
Yeah,
This
because
is bonfire.
when we get out to the highway, if you look on the sides of the road, you can see those lampposts everywhere. If he hits one of those lampposts and kind of lands on top of his vehicle, if you hit him, but hit him through the lamppost, it's very rare that it'll ever drop anything, because the way this game maps out collision is very bad. So that's why we definitely want to get him here, because the backup, or casual strat I guess we could say, is very difficult.
Like, we're getting a very good one there. One big deciding factor of that strat is traffic, without a doubt.
Yeah, it can destroy you. And generally speaking, for anyone who wants to get a little bit better at that mission, don't forget to use the e-brake boost and use the door on your left-hand side as the cue for when you have to go back in, because some people will reverse too far and that loses time. Some people won't reverse far enough and then they won't get the drop. Now, Vapo, I suspect won't get it. I think he'll be using a similar coin route to Liquid. We'll see if he will get the Clueless coins. He will. He will. I was literally just about to say not, but he does. Liquid now searching for fish
better safe
drink.
than sorry.
I should have paid more attention.
No
Because
fish time
we
for
might see a
Liquid.
bit of
For
time
shame.
later on where Liquid has to collect coins, but
We will see, because not getting these coins does make you a lot more reliant on coins you're probably going to either A, have to take more time out to get, or B, get during missions, which make missions more dangerous.
Let's just do this. Lisa Simpson at your service.
Alright, here we see Liquid doing Operation Hellfish, which is just another destruction mission. We have to destroy 3 of these sedans. As you can see, we're using the school bus here. This is one of, I believe, one of the only times where we use the required car for a mission. I think the other two being in Apu and Homer 2.
I think it's the other way around. Cloud King's the only time we don't use it for the required mission. We use Zombie Car. Yeah.
We use Carbuilt for Homer.
Required vehicle. We use Carbuilt for Homer. We use Globex. We use Zombie. We use
Good point. Yeah, that's my part. Yeah.
Cloud King's the exception to the rule. Now we'll see. The second sedan can be a bit more temperamental. You'll see it can turn left or right when it starts. It turns left, which is typically the more nice way of going, because you can see it gets trapped in a way that is directly in your path. Meanwhile, Vapo getting a very, very nice bonfire of the manatees. And another newer strat here is this reset to get behind the sedan. We'll try to hit him on the left-hand side and get a very big collision, which Liquid does not get.
Oh, not quite getting it there, but he does manage to get him stuck on the pier entrance, which is also good. He can't get out of that now, and he'll eventually destroy himself, which gives Liquid the chance to walk back up here to go to the next mission start, which is really nice.
Because there is a slightly long camera pan that you can't skip into Slithery Sleuthing.
Yeah.
And we'll see another camera pan in there because it's a force vehicle.
Now, here's that mission I was talking about earlier. There's no more rubber banding now in this game. As you can see, Snake is just going to go balls to the walls. He's just going to drive, and he'll drop his stuff wherever. He'll crash here and there. And this mission is also very RNG orientated, so the last drop can be really good RNG or it can be really bad RNG, depending on where he drops it. If he drops it over this upcoming bridge, it's really bad RNG, and it can lose you like a little bit of time in the run.
Ooh, Liquid
but if not,
resetting very appropriately, yeah. And if I might interrupt the mission to say, Strike One, the letters A, E, I, O, and U, the foulest of all crimes. Meanwhile, Liquid getting a very favorable third drop.
Ow, my hair.
Vapo, they're getting a very good first sedan.
Oh, Mom.
And you'll see actually Liquid, just before he got to the stairs, he turned slightly to the right. It makes the little drift you have to do at the end when you land a lot easier. So you'll see those small little ways the runners optimize their run.
Liquid finishing here, and because we've still got the school bus, well, the next mission is a long driving mission. Liquid opts to go for the, we opt to go for the Malibu Stacy car again. Oh, Vapo getting the right turn there.
Less nice sedan, and sometimes it crashes into that sign, and that would have actually destroyed itself if that happened. But getting very
not a terrible backup there for Vapo by any means.
Not bad, but not as good as Liquid, and he is behind, so he's gonna need some good things. However, he is 160 coins ahead.
Now you'll never be fried.
We'll see if Vapo can get the fast strat to the final sedan here.
And he won't. We'll see though. I think this is actually worse. He's gonna need to push that in, and it might actually go in straight. No, it's fine. It will destroy itself, and he will also opt to get there as quickly as he can. Liquid, meanwhile, opted to go to the Duff Blimp area and just get a freebie, which he did. So we do see some kind of corrective measures for the coin route. Because actually, Lisa's the level for Lisa is kind of sparse for freebie. There's one we sometimes get at the lighthouse, but when I say sometimes, I really mean sometimes. It's very, very rare we get that. Back to beeping in time to the music, as Vapo gets a relatively early first drop.
Yeah, the first two drops I don't think really matter where they drop, because you're not going to lose any time from it.
The second drop does, in my opinion. If it drops on the stairs, you can get very, very unfortunate bounces on there, and just get destroyed by it.
We'll see where his second drop ends up.
There you go. That
one can
be difficult, because you need to bounce the accelerator to get to the perfect point. Now Liquid will be getting the school bus again for the old pirate in the sea, a mission, and Vapo, sorry, I'll just interrupt, getting a very, very unfortunate drop. Technically speaking, we can get 2 cycled on this mission. However, it doesn't happen in practice. Only Wolfstone... What is Liquid doing? Going for a very long run up here. I've not seen that before, but getting a magnificent hit. This is a very fast strat here.
Time to move.
And we'll see Liquid here. On getting onto the Sea Spanker, he will opt to go for a lamppost or whatever we're going to call these things. That is very difficult to get because the surface we're actually jumping on is basically a dot as opposed to a long line we can just land on. I remember during Nostalgia's race, he tried to get on that, but it was actually quite difficult, so we just opted eventually just to say, you know what, screw this, this is really annoying me, I'm gonna go there.
I'll do my best. No time for caution. Oh, I don't have any packets.
Now, this is another one of our follow sections Liquid is doing. However, it's ridiculously easy due to this little area here, because Wiggum just goes around it, and it's ridiculously easy to do.
I hope this isn't stealing.
Now, I think Liquid will be getting out of the car, A, to use that hit point glitch, and also, by getting out of the car, it actually makes it more likely that the Wasp will come down, which will give him a freebie that he will be trying to get. You see it right there in between trees that he will not manage to get, I think, just a bit of bad luck. And getting very bad luck with that garbage truck. He will be hoping that Donald Truck can push through. And I think he should go for the backup here. He is too far gone unless he does something insane.
Really
I cannot even fathom. He is going to go for a backup here, and we'll find it very, very difficult to get
that either. Can be very finicky strat to get a backup on.
It is indeed,
really
and also traffic can just mess you up. I mean, garbage truck just showed off what it can do. It's like an absolute brick house of the road that just cannot be pushed past. Liquid had it, and then garbage truck said, "Not today."
Very unfortunate, but a prime example of you know, even the top runners make mistakes like these on these harder strats.
I wouldn't even say it's a mistake, to be quite frank. It's a very
no. The traffic really did mess him up there, honestly.
We'll see if Vapo goes for a similar method to Liquid.
I think
no, he's going for a similar method to what I'll go on. Yeah, that's what I see most people do. No, but if you use the main brake, the e-brake, and the accelerator all at the same time, it will, when you release the e-brake and the brake, it will give you a massive speed boost, which I think is basically the same thing as Liquid got, except without using the boost. Meanwhile, getting a freebie in Trailer Park. He has 1 freebie now, and if he gets another, he will cease to get freebies throughout this level. Vapo not getting the freebie on the pier, and also getting very bad luck with the no damage on the limo, as Frazzle points out in chat. Now, this is a very, very easy mission. Cletus is slow, we are fast. However, as you see Liquid do now, this mission goes everywhere. It almost goes through the entire map, save Evergreen Terrace and one other road, basically. I don't know what the name of that road is. I don't think it's actually canonically explained. So we go through the entire map, and what that means is coin. So we will see Liquid go for a lot of coins here, and Vapo going for the safer of the 2 lampposts to go up on, which I would
really
personally
blame him for that one. The other one can be a bit finicky on. I'm not sure what FPS Vapo plays on, but I know definitely on a lower FPS the main strat can be a bit finicky.
And again, we're noticing there with that newspaper the length of Vapo's loads in comparison to Liquid, and also going for another of the 3 hit points manipulation on that box. I suspect he'll be picking up that box properly during Wolf Stole My Pills. Or at least that's... Yeah, I think that's the only time he'd be able to, unless he took a detour during either Catch-Up Logic or From Outer Space.
Something we probably should point out there in this mission, as you can see there, I don't think we've noted this yet, but as you can see, Liquid's bar in the right-hand corner went to red for a moment there. If that bar goes all the way full, it'll activate something known as hit and run.
Wait a second, is that why they call it that game? Sorry.
Yeah. And so with hit and run, what happens is if you
Vapo opting for backup straight away, just to note.
Not quite getting it. Hit and run. If what will happen is once that bar is full, 2 police cars will come and chase you.
Or
If they
one.
manage to hit into you and trap you, you will lose 50 coins, which can be really detrimental to your coin route, and you'll have to make back up for it.
However, if this is only in Marge, Apu, Bart 2, and Homer 2, during the first 3 levels, you only get 1. And Vapo getting a significantly better donut truck. And will be opting for that B, which means he will have 1. So he will either be able to get the one in the trailer park. No, actually, no, never mind. There isn't another available freebie that I can think of in this. Now on to catch-up logic. This game is set the week before Halloween and on Halloween in the final level. So to prepare for the long hard winter, Cletus wants to get ketchup packets, and don't ask me, I don't know either.
I am so embarrassed.
So yeah, basically in this mission, all you're doing is driving around in Cletus's horrible truck once again, because we haven't been tortured enough in this thing as of yet.
Has just awful. So you will see runners, they will intentionally take route to create as many long straights as possible and make as few corners as they can.
Yeah. We're also looking to get a few more coins in this mission as well, particularly in Burns' manor. We go for a wasp.
Yeah, I believe Liquid still has one freebie available, so I suspect he'll be going for the left-hand wasp of the chessboard. And hopefully won't be missing a drop like a certain somebody I might care to mention, and getting the freebie on the board. The Cletus truck is actually probably, in my opinion, the easiest vehicle to get freebies in that we are forced to drive. I can't think of anything else which is easier to do it in.
Liquid avoiding the Gamden Wheel of Fortune there, which is actually, this mission is actually where that stems from in the beginning. Very easy to get that if you don't quite get the right cycle when backing up to get a bit of speed to make the jump. As you see Liquid there escaping from the sedan at the end of the mission. Very easily to do that. It's very rare that you won't escape him on time.
Unless you're implementing the sadly badly strat and ensuring you only have 4 seconds left to escape when you do.
Yeah. And finishing the mission.
And now starting the second shortest mission of the game, assuming we separate the Cola Caper from the opening cutscene. This should only take you 42 seconds max, really. I can't think what my goal is, actually. It's probably more than that, knowing me. And we do see
all we're
Vapo
doing in this
destroy.
You're just going to race Chief Wiggum, but it's not really a race because, you know, 9 times out of 10, Wiggum's going to get stuck on the way. So I wouldn't worry too much about it.
The real question, though, what does Frostilicus have to say about that? I know that Vapo there went for the gag, perhaps going for a 100% route, just in case halfway through the run we decide that we just want to do 100%.
Yeah.
Now on to Wolves Stole My Pills. This is the first mission in which we can realistically get 2-cycled. To kind of explain it, basically the way in which those drops work over specific areas where you don't have to actually hit the vehicle in order to make a drop, there's a specific area of the map in which those drops will occur. And as we go through that area of the map, or rather the chase sedan in this case goes through that area of the map, the chance of a drop goes up incrementally. So let's say it goes up, like, for one area from 1/2 to 3/4 to 7/8 and so on, and keeps going up and up and up. However, that chance doesn't go to 100% in the final position. So there is a small chance that we will get 2-cycled, which basically means you don't get the drop in the pre-chosen geographical location.
Yeah.
And the game's way of kind of fixing that is by making you do the entire route of the drops again. Which, in the case of Wolves Stole My Pills, is worth about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah.
Only one runner so far in this tournament has gotten 2 cycled, Pessimistic Mango, as we see LiquidWiFi pick up the box which he previously avoided picking up during Redneck Roundup, instead on kick.
Because this wasn't bad enough, you know, there's also there's a mission later on as well where you can also get 2 cycled.
He's fine. Although incriminating caffeine significantly less likely. This is the more likely of the 2 missions in which you realistically can get 2 cycled. Technically speaking, sleuthing can do it to you too, but that's something we only know in theory. It's never actually happened to somebody.
Yeah.
Vapo not getting away from the chase down yet, now managing it.
Yeah. It's very rare, like I said, they don't escape that sedan. Another thing to know about wolves as well, because 2 cycle wasn't bad enough alone, there's also a chance that if you don't collect a certain drop by a certain point where the sedan's driving, you can get a glitch known as the instant fail glitch, where the mission will just fail completely.
I think it's because there's a certain number of active drops that can exist as well. I think that's another of the issues. And Mooful, to answer your question, you can get 3 cycled, but we're basically kind of like, you know, let's say it's 1 in 100 chance of happening. You'd have to multiply 1 in 100 and square it. So it'd be a 1 in 10,000 chance of happening. So, however improbable, the answer is yeah. Meanwhile, Liquid is moving into crap circles. In my opinion, the best cutscene in the game, albeit inaccurate, because it's a can of soda, not, as Marge flagrantly falsely puts it, a bottle of pah.
Maybe these will jog your memory.
Huh? What?
For the last freaking time, tell me about the crap circles.
There I was surrounded by Tojo and his Nazi henchmen, when one of them, a raccoon as I recall, hits me with a banjo. Now, I never reasoned with a raccoon, let alone a Nazi one, so
Grandpa, what does this have to do with the crap circle?
Not a thing! Where was I? Right, now, the first time I rode in a water car... Okay. It was so long ago that I'll have to describe it in sepia tone. Well, as I recall, it was sort of a cosmic kind of thing, shaped kind of like a planet with an old-fashioned radio antenna coming off it.
A planet with an antenna? That sounds awfully familiar. I think it was at the Quickie Mart. That's it. It was on a bottle of pop. Maybe that will jog Bart's memory.
And the story deepens.
No idea.
The plot.
As you see there, that cutscene giving you insight to the story. You know, we saw this buzz caller at the start of the game, and now we're seeing it again later on in the game because it has something to do with Bart's mind control, which has been after he got abducted in Bart 1.
Liquid forgetting to talk Bart briefly, but does manage to get the pop-up skip, basically when we need a vehicle or an outfit, and we don't currently have it equipped or on. The game will just do a quick pop-up, which you're probably all familiar with. However, because the place we buy the outfit at is so... Maybe we're getting a slightly late... No, but getting a very early 10th drop. Never mind.
Yeah, that's really
cycle
good.
for either runner so far. Now, because the outfit place that we buy it in is so close to the place where we kind of trigger the pop-up, we can actually skip it. It's only worth like a second at best, but it kind of makes you feel good about how you're doing. It gets you pumped up for the rest of the run. And this is the second and final mission that we do entirely on foot after, what's it, Blind Big Brother?
Blind Big Brother. So yeah, this mission is very an easy mission. The way to be fast at it is just optimal movement, honestly. You have to collect a few coins in this mission as well. There's a little skip coming up here, which I think Liquid's going to demonstrate, sliding off the roof there. But with optimal movement, this mission is really easy.
We'll see if he gets Mr. Plowjacket, and I'll be very disappointed in him if he doesn't. And he does not. Shame on you, Liquid.
Wow.
Shame on you, LiquidWiFi.
The only way you can bring this back now is to collect Bort in Bart 2.
Liquid Doki is really putting this on the road. Vapo initiating crop circles. The Poe.
Switch over to Vapo's audio for this one.
Let's see how Vapo41 is doing.
For the last freaking time, tell me about the crap circles.
There I was surrounded by Tojo and his...
Meanwhile, moving into Cola Trucks, aka
This is the final mission of March.
Outer Space. A very difficult mission, you'll see. And he manages to get the strap, but not quite as perfectly as he can. But
One
probably
thing you'll
better
notice
than
about
everything.
this mission is there is no real good recoveries for either three of them. Either three of the trucks if you don't get the initial strat.
I'd say the first truck has relatively easy recoveries, and Liquid's actually opting into one of them now.
Yeah, Liquid doing very well
Second
there, but it
truck-
can be very difficult if you don't get the
It
initial
can.
one.
I'd say
Oh, Liquid there, not having a great time with the Canyonero.
the second truck is, I'd say, like, as far as the 3 trucks are concerned, they're actually almost in order of how easy it is to get their backups.
Yeah.
'Cause I think the first
I
one's
guess
easy.
so, yeah.
The second one, because it goes through the tunnel and then into the power plant, if you get behind it perfectly and ram it from behind, you do a huge amount of damage. Now we'll see if Vapo will get Flanders points. He won't. And third one is just, it's honestly really
almost
difficult to get that
impossible
back
to
up.
get a good
Yeah.
recovery from.
Because
I know this because in my past 2 races, I've had a terrible call the trucks.
Because
And the
there's
third one's-
nothing solid to
Yeah.
hit the truck against, because
You're
these
almost
trucks
just
are
trying to push
really
it into
hard,
absolutely
yeah.
anything and
Yeah, we'll
everything
see
in order to get a
Liquid
hit on it.
we'll try to hit it on the corner of the left-hand pillar of the stairs here. And will he get it? He will, but he will push it beyond.
Oh,
He'll
not
hope
quite.
to get it.
He manages to get him stuck down here, which is fine.
He'll,
You are able to do a
think-
lot of damage here.
ideally, you will want to have it in vertically, not horizontally, and this will destroy it. He should reset and leave. Now he's going to try to pick up a box here on the right and perhaps a wasp. I don't know what his coin route is nowadays. I haven't been keeping an eye on the coin
I
route myself.
don't know if he's going for this
He
wasp
will.
here.
He
We'll
will. I can
find
see
out.
him.
He does.
His line was
Yeah. It's not a slow wasp to go for by any means, considering you're already there. You can jump straight out and collect it.
And the spawns are
Going
looking
across the
pretty
gambling
safe
wheel
now.
of fortune once again.
634 coins moving into Apu looks pretty good to me.
Oh,
I'd say
he's going to
so
get more
long
at the
as you-
Krusty Burger as well.
I'd say so long as you have like anything more than, I'd say even 580, you could, you know, do a bit of an early collection in Apu, and Vape actually
Oh, a
missing
very good
the
hit there.
gas station jump. Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Liquid getting a, like, honestly, I was trying to keep an eye on how Vapo's movement was going, and I totally missed what Liquid did.
A very good hit on the fence, where usually we'd get him stuck in that tree, which you saw there. But to knock him into the fence and get him a early hit like that is very, very good. Well played by Liquid.
A very nice play indeed. I assume. I didn't actually see it myself.
Very good. Very well played. Liquid's going to collect a few coins here from this Krusty Burger. Box and a vending machine. Going to put him
693,
up
that's
to
good.
just around the 700 mark after this Krusty Glass.
699. I'm afraid you're wrong. You will have to leave commentary. Now, this is
700,
an
there we go.
example of teleporting. Just kind of like a brief one. The interior of a building isn't actually the interior of the building.
No.
The interior of the building exists in a very far off, out of bounds area. We'll see if Liquid goes for that freebie. He doesn't. He doesn't even go for that vending machine. We
I
might see
believe
him
he
try
goes
to
for the
pick it
one
up
here
during.
instead. No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, basically, the interior of the map, the interior of buildings, doesn't actually exist inside the interiors of buildings. So Bart's room, DMV, Moe's Tavern, and Simpsons sitting room, they don't actually exist in the buildings themselves. They're out of bounds
Yeah.
because it's a lot easier to code the game to not have like geographically consistent buildings and interiors. It's just difficult and annoying. So it's a lot easier to just do a black screen and then suddenly you're in the interior of the building.
Part of the
But what
reason we
that
know
was-
this is if, for example, in Homer 1, it's very easy to go out of bounds. And once you're out of bounds in Homer 1, you were able to find Lisa standing in the Simpsons house, I believe it is. Even though I don't think you ever see Lisa in the Simpsons house in Homer 1, but I'm pretty sure she's there.
We see her in Homer 2 at the very beginning to
Yeah.
initiate rigor motors. Now Vapo getting a significantly better first hit. Hopefully he will be able to transition well, and that should be
Yeah, that's
destroyed.
good enough.
That
That
will
should
destroy
destroy
itself.
itself.
He doesn't need it. He doesn't need to touch it. Although he
It'll
will
destroy
miss out on the
itself
5
but
coins from
out.
glass.
Oh,
And
the
basically
Canyon arrow
to-
strikes again.
To finish the explanation from earlier, what the teleportation does for us is it just puts us as far away as possible from a chase vehicle and gives us an immediate escape. Now,
Yeah.
Liquid will be moving into Incriminating Caffeine, the second mission and the last, on which we can reasonably get 2 cycles. The first drop is good, although he doesn't opt to go for the box around the side, which I do see some people get when they go for an early first drop. We'll see how Vapo does on third truck. It's looking good, but getting a bit clobbered by traffic and getting destroyed by Caminero physics. He will not be able to get that back up either. He is beyond the fence. We'll see
Really
a good bit of time lost for Vapo.
one thing I'll note about incriminating caffeine as well. Within Wolves, I don't think you can ever really tell the point where you're going to get two-cycled until it happens. However, this is personal.
The ninth drop on Wolves can kind of be a telltale sign.
Yeah.
If it's
what I
very
found in
late.
incriminating caffeine is if the cola truck drops a drop round the Krusty Burger area, which is coming up soon, then I find you will not get
falling
two-cycled.
behind. Although should be able to recover. I think lucky he's in an area where a truck is on a curved route, because the way in which this game maps out this distance you have to keep from the truck is straight line distance. So going on a curved route obviously means that it's not getting away as quickly as possible. However, when we were all newer runners, the area around the Krusty Burger was always deceptive because it's a lot of corners. So we thought to ourselves, we've finally done incriminating caffeine, we've done it, we're not going to fail it. And then suddenly the truck goes on a massive straight and disappears. So you'll see Liquid be very close now, and then suddenly that bar will just go down as soon as it moves on the straight. You'll see it
so it
happen now.
dropped a ninth drop there at the Krusty Burger, and I find now that that's happened, I don't think Liquid can get two-cycled, because usually when I've been two-cycled on incriminating caffeine, the drop on the second cycle has always been at the Krusty Burger, so
yeah,
I believe that
is the ninth drop. The time I've been two-cycled, it was the ninth drop that didn't. I don't know if there's multiple drops that can happen.
This is not good for my insurance.
Anyway, Vapo now into Apu as well. Liquid doing a very easy mission here. It's just 2 escape missions, which once you drive past a certain point, the 2 vehicles will just give up and they won't even attempt to follow you. It's a really easy mission for this late in the game, especially. You see, Liquid going to bounce up and down and drag away.
The Mafia are famously lazy at following people they don't like, as we all know. Yeah. Now he will be opting to pick up the courthouse box. Sorry. Now we can pick this up during this little piggy. However, because we're doing that turnaround there, it's actually quicker to pick it up then because we have less momentum we're losing by moving in there than we would. And Gady is informing me that he is pretty sure that's the 8th and 9th drops on which you get 2 cycles. Thank you for me.
Yeah.
Now, as I was saying, during this little piggy, we have more momentum when we'd have to turn in to grab that courthouse box. So it's actually a lot quicker to pick it up during, I think it's on Baby Makes 8, because 8 is too much as this. Care to explain what Baby Van AI is?
Alright, so basically this van here is an absolute nightmare. I believe the AI in this game works on a scale of 1 to 10, and it can vary in this mission.
Sorry.
Right, and
perfect,
depending on what the AI is, the car can drive in very ridiculous ways, so it'll just randomly do 360s in the middle of the road if you don't manage to get him stuck in a position like this, like Liquid does. As you can look, we get a perfect baby van there. That's brilliant from Liquid.
Next to perfect. There's one easier trap you can get, but that was
that was brilliant. But yeah, just depending on the AI can really determine whether you have a good baby van or not. It's pretty ridiculous mission, honestly.
I think that Longhorn has wonky driving.
It looks to be. It doesn't look the most stable car I've ever seen.
Don't ask me how it occurs, but just for some reason, you can just get the car and it will decide to do wonky driving, which you'll see Vapo every, like, about 10 seconds or so. His car will just suddenly go right, left, right, left.
Yeah.
So it's very difficult to control, although I'd say Longhorn's one of the best vehicles to get it in because it is kind of smooth and it's handling. So it's like the worst one to get it in is obviously going to be Canyonero, because the way the game's physics deal with the fact we're using 144 frames a second when this game realistically can only do 60 as far as its actual development is concerned, is doing mental things. But anyways, yeah, he can rectify this either by getting a new car, or he can actually get the same car but just grab it from the phone booth and it will remove wonky driving.
You saw there on Vapo's side, the cola truck getting stuck on the fire engine. The way to manipulate this is if the cola truck is off screen while driving past that fire engine, it will not crash into it, regardless.
It's because this game has It's because this game has no object permanence, much like a 2-year-old. If something isn't being looked at, it doesn't exist.
Yeah.
So we will see in many instances, and Liquid will probably be doing this in this mission, and he just did it right there, you saw. It's called the despawn. So when you look away from something, it ceases to exist. When you look back at it, the game tries to respawn like what the cars should look like in their positions, because apparently, get this right, one of the selling points of this game was realistic traffic AI. Let's just all let that sink in for a moment. So basically, it will respawn everything, which is semi-random, pretty much. So we're trying to get things out of Wiggum's way, because the way in which we are going to finish this mission is by Wiggum getting to the DMV. And Liquid missing out on that vending machine. He's going to have to pick it up during either the...
Vapo really not having a good time with the long corner. Yeah. He's really not enjoying this.
And I'd say that Wonky Car can also mess up his transition into the second limo if he hits one of the pillars at the entrance to Park, which he doesn't. I kid you not, everyone. This game was actually marketed on realistic traffic AI. Although ID is another adjective. Liquid managing a very good manipulation on the garbage truck there. Yeah. Basically, it will go down that little shortcut for a bit for some reason. I don't know why. And it can do some remarkable things. It can pop some wheelies. It can pop an ollie if it wants to.
Vapo finally getting rid of the long corn.
And getting the car of his dream.
The car built for Vapo. About to start and baby maintain.
Try to get a hit here because that garbage truck can get stuck on that big brown girder. And taking a bit of a strange route. Typically people do like to stay directly behind the garbage truck to get that fifth drop as soon as it happens, although I'll trust Liquid to know a little bit more about that.
Oh my god. You see Vapo's baby van going flying. This is a prime example.
Absolutely magnificent.
This is a prime example of absolute trash AI in this car.
Now we observe the baby van in the wild, not in captivity as it was for Liquid.
This is what I meant about
majestic baby van.
360-degree turns in the middle of the road for no reason.
I guess this is what happened. This is an ad for not driving with babies in the back. Because those two Shelbyville parents clearly have no control over the children, and they have no control over the vehicle either. And
Liquid was struggling to get a final drop.
I actually didn't keep an eye on what Liquid did on the roof. What I think he'll do is he will have picked up a wasp, bee, and a bot. Yeah. A wasp and a bee, yeah, makes sense. Top quality commentary here, everyone. My apologies. Now, Liquid managing this little jump. If you don't get this jump onto the fire engine, it can be a little bit finicky because those fans that are kind of like, you know, giving off a lot of upwards thrust and can be very finicky in trying to jump between them. So ideally we just do that jump in order to dip one of them so that we only have to deal with one. Meanwhile, Vapo onto this little piggy following a donut trail to find Wiggum to find Snake because... Actually, screw it. I'll leave it to you. Explain the plot of this game because, hold on everyone, I need you to be sitting down for this. This game has a plot line.
This game does have a plot. So basically, what we've missed so far is the first two levels are filler. Honestly, they just sort of set up the game for, you know, they give you a good idea of how to play it. At the end of part 1, you saw we do a cutscene skip, and in this cutscene what happens is Bart gets abducted by aliens, and as we know, there are only 2 aliens in the Simpsons series, but we'll get to that later. Lisa's level was all about attempting to find Bart, and by finding Bart, which she does, she's able to get a bit more information about him in terms of what happened. Then once Bart's returned, and basically we don't really see it, but Bart is talking all gibberish, and Marge can't understand him.
We don't see it in the run anyway, because we skipped the dialogue between Bart and Lisa. Continue.
So, and then it's now Marge's job to try and decode what Bart's saying, and essentially what Bart mentions was crop circles. And because he mentions crop circles, Marge is adamant on finding out what happened. So she goes to Cletus to find out, well, she goes to Wiggum first to find out, who recommends to see Cletus, who recommends to see older people, which is why you go to Mole Man, who then tells you about Abe Simpson, knows about it. So that's where the crop circle cutscene comes from. And obviously, Grandpa, as you saw in the cutscene, describes what was Buzz Cola. So then it's Marge's job to find out who's making this cola. So then she goes to Apu to find out because they sell it at the Quickie Mart. And this is where Apu comes in. A lot of people always wonder why Apu's in this game. It's because he's brought into the story by the Buzz Cola coming from the Quickie Mart. And so now Apu wants to find out where all these criminals
are. Very quickly, now Liquid moving on to Armored Truck. this is a mission in which the game developers decided, hey, you know what would be great? If we had to destroy a really, really tough vehicle. And then they'd added, you know, it'd be really even better than that. If we made you do it in one of the weakest cars we can think of. And so this mission was born. Quick Cash, in which we escaped from Wiggum twice and destroy a truck. But
I just saw Liquid getting a very good strat there, which we try and use to get it. Basically, if we push him into that area where you saw Liquid push him, as long as that truck has something in front of him and something behind him, he can't get out. It's almost impossible for him to get out. Yeah,
Gaseous Ethernet cable definitely did very well there.
Yeah.
And you'll see now, trying not to get too far away from the truck, because the game's way of kind of rectifying if you're so far away from the truck is saying, well, you must have forgotten something, so we'll just put it back on the road. And yeah, that's what happened. It's very peculiar. So that's why we take the specific route we do, because we want to keep our straight line distance from the armored truck a specific distance in order not to cause either A, the truck will deactivate and stop moving in the trap, or B, it will respawn and drive back on the road. And it's very, very frustrating if that happens.
So basically, this next mission, what Liquid's about to do, it actually follows on to what I was saying.
Or maybe he's debating.
It was what I was saying about the story. So basically, at the end of this dialogue, Snake informs Apu that the cola comes from the museum. And so because the museum closes soon, we have to attempt to destroy the curator's car and collect his key. We'll see if Liquid gets it here. It can be a bit of a finicky strat because the curator is a very fast car. It's not the strongest car because if you get it stuck and you get a good few hits on it, it's going to destroy.
It's a very maneuverable vehicle,
Yeah.
We'll see if Liquid was debating us and what, because personally, for the sake of having a good close race, I'm hoping it wasn't. Which makes me sound remarkably.
So we'll see if Liquid, he gets the strat there brilliantly. And he gets an extra car in the process.
Too. He'll probably be skipping out on the vending box at the start of.
So instead of buffering this cutscene, we just attempt. Yep, and he gets it.
Okay, this might have been the reason why he was sad about what happened. He warped to the wrong.
So yeah, basically, you've seen us buffer the previous cutscene. Well, we don't do it in this one. We just spam the pause button. And then we can attempt to get the 1-frame pause in that.
Well, it's a 2-frame pause, but the difference is it's the only mission in which, in the other two cutscenes, we can get the pause menu, but the problem is it's a pause menu active of mission complete. So there's no way of restarting or cancelling the mission because the mission's complete. Why would you want to restart or cancel a mission that's already complete? But also, you can't mission select because you haven't completed the mission yet, technically, because it has to deal with that stuff. So, but the difference is we don't get that. We don't get that with the faded out restart and cancel mission. We can only get the mission select pause. However, Vapo by alt tabbing out can pause buffer it if he wants to, which I personally wouldn't advise. But if it works, it works.
Basically, the cutscene what Liquid just skipped as well is the most dangerous to not to skip. So basically, if you don't get it, you're going to be losing. Is it around 2.5 minutes? I believe that cutscene is.
35 seconds exactly, I believe. Meanwhile,
just over 2.5 minutes. Which, if he would have failed that, Vapo would to get the armored truck strat, Vapo would have been straight back in this race, like completely.
I'd say it would be relatively even between them. I'd say Liquid would still be. Well, then again, maybe about 20 seconds between them at most, really.
I think it really depends on Vapo's last two missions here.
Now, we will see a bit of a difference between the two runners' routes in Part 2 because Vapo has a love of the car built for home. And by using it in opting for a very strange escape there.
Oh, he nearly didn't get him. I think Vapo turned around a little too early on the highway there, so Wiggum kept following him because he also turned around. That could have been really unfortunate there for Vapo. Not getting the armored truck
very far behind. Depending on his backup, this can be worth anywhere between 35 seconds to 1.5 minutes of time loss. Realistically, more like 45 seconds or so, because Vapo will probably be decent backup.
Oh god, this is really unfortunate for Vapo.
It is indeed. Liquid is now in a... Like, he was in a commanding lead before. He is in a very, very nice position. He can play the rest of the game relatively safe and be very, very certain victory.
Vapo not getting the worst backup. He's getting a few good hits on him early.
But nothing beats getting the trap. Because you're in the correct position to leave and start the next bit of the mission when the truck is destroyed.
Yeah. So, once Vapo gets past here and gets past the cutscene skip, hopefully I'll continue on with the story in this game, because it's quite deep at this point, I'll be honest.
Yeah, and we don't want any spoilers, so...
No, of course not. So as you can see, Vapo there, doing a lot of good damage. It's preferably nice to get almost a full bar just before you leave the highway, because there's a wrench at the bottom of here if you need it, which then can let you get a big hit on the truck and finish him off.
I think he's only about 2 good hits away, and there are a few little points where the corners of buildings are poor. There you go. There's an example of the corners being poorly mapped out because
he's going to go for the wrench. To be honest, I don't really think he needed that wrench there, because on the way back he's going to go, there's a wrench he can get.
I think he got it. I think he got it specifically because the vending machine was there. He missed it on his return from Never Trust a Snake, so he was probably just trying to correct his coin route. His coins are looking pretty good. He'll be able to avoid the vending box at the start of Part 2, which is worth 7 seconds not to get.
Yeah. As you can see, Liquid doing a mission there. This is just a pure follow mission. He's just going to follow Frink around and collect a few vending machines along the way.
A remarkably boring mission speedrun. When we played this casually as younger individuals, the only thing that this mission had was it was vaguely unpredictable because Frink seemed to have no rhyme or rhythm in his route. Or rather, the hover car, because, well, Frink isn't actually in it if you look at it. So there's no mystery to it. We just have to pick up 4 vending machines that are relatively easy to pick up. And we ponder life briefly while we wait. Vapo now trying to get Curator, a very high octane strat, in my opinion. Probably, in my opinion, my favorite strat to get right. It always just makes me feel awesome when I get it. However, not opting to go in behind will go for a trap.
Oh, but he gets a very nice trap.
It is a nice trap,
but it can also be very nice to get.
It'll never be as good as hitting him right in the back, because that can almost leave him 1 hit from death straight away. Now we'll see how Vapo does this cutscene skip, and he will opt to do this to pause buffer. He's going to pause buffer this. Let's see how he does. He will get the cutscene skip. 603 points, already enough for a car built for... or Globex car, sorry. I'm just so fixated upon his love of car built for Vapo. Now, car built for Vapo is equally as fast as the Globex supervillain car, with worse acceleration. But by using it in Part 2, it's 2 seconds slower. However, gives you the opportunity of getting 2 freebies, because you'll notice that the Globex supervillain car is very, very low on the road. And its hitbox kind of is similar to that. The hitboxes aren't perfectly mapped out, but, you know, you get an idea based on the actual car shape itself. Car built for Homer is very tall, and wasps obviously fly. So, you know.
Alright, Liquid here doing duff for me, duff for you. This has a strat to it. It can be a bit finicky to get, but if you get it, you're going to be going very fast. Vapo getting bought there. There is also 2 backup strats. One on the pier where you can just hit into the back of him. Oh yeah, 3. Well, I should say one main strat, 2 backup strats, I would say.
Well, no. There's 3 backups. There's the one where you hit him so he's dead on against the pier. There's one where you send that card like door, but then, you know, just before, like, if you missed it, he'll turn right and then right again. There's that like box where you can pick up, where he can be picked up by the crane. You can trap him there. It's a bit of a, it's more finicky. You don't want to.
I can't say I've ever done that one myself. But as you can see, Liquid are getting the very optimal strat.
Getting and both freebies. No, that's both of them. Nice. Got the one earlier as well.
Yeah. Very nice there from Liquid.
Leaving absolutely no room for error for Vapo for the rest of the run, because there's literally, like, honestly, I don't think there's a lot of chance for Vapo here, because Liquid is... There's a reason he's the world record holder, and we're seeing it right now in the consistency of the strat. Due to the consistency of his runs going.
Well, team's trying to get Skinner strat here, which he
will manage it, although
just about gets it.
Not the quickest, but I mean only about a second slower at best due to the small collision.
Because the room dead ahead of us here, it's the same coin grinding room from
He
level
will
3.
not get it.
Oh,
He
you're not
will
quite
get
getting
He's
it.
not close, unless he gets it here. He
And he does,
manages
that's
it
good.
in an
Manages
insane
to
back
get
up.
it.
Now, I'll fry his
So yeah, we
Basically,
want to
the-
attempt to get
Sorry,
the
go on.
coins in there by blowing up Skinner there, and then we can get the rest later on in the level.
The vehicle explosions, they have peripheral damage. Like if something else is caught in that explosion, like you know, if you stood next to an explosion, you'd probably know there's an explosion, and it can destroy boxes, it can destroy other cars, and stuff like that. And actually, a little tip for anyone on armored truck: if the armored truck almost destroys a vehicle, hit that vehicle and destroy it. That explosion does some decent damage to the armored truck, and if the armored truck gets caught in that vehicle, it can also remove the obstacle as well.
Yeah. There's some missions where we use this to our advantage. For example, in incriminating caffeine, it just doesn't care where it's driving. So a lot of that time, the cola truck is just going to barge
Liquid's
straight
missing a
into...
drop. Liquid's missing 2 drops.
He's gone the completely wrong way. Yeah. This is...
I'm gonna be entirely honest. Like LiquidWiFi, you're totally forgiven. I have done that too. I think I was in lab code caper mode, and I just missed it. And Liquid, oh my god, missing the drop! Whatever will he do? He's missed the 20-second drop. Everyone, what's he gonna do? He's choking. He's choking the run. And,
So as you can see,
oh my god!
This mission for anyone playing casually could have been bad because of the short amount of time you get from picking up the last drop to driving all the way back to Krusty Lou. So in the speedrun, to avoid this, because we sometimes attempt to get coins in this mission, we get that drop last, so we are closer to Krusty Lou when we pick up the last drop. As you can see, Liquid there getting the coins, but having the extra time to be able to get back as well.
Also, we are kind of blessed with the knowledge of the reset we're about to see Liquid do here. So, Never Trust a Snake is a unique mission, in the sense that it's the only mission that gives you an amount of time and then says, there's your time. All other missions, either A, add time to the timer, or B, have a totally unique timer for every single new objective. So, for example, in Set to Kill, we have 50 seconds to get back to Krusty Lou, and that will always be 50 seconds. The moment we get that final drop, it's 50 seconds. So we obviously opt to pick up a drop that is closest to the finishing point to give us more time. And you will notice that Liquid avoided one of the 2 pier boxes. The reason is that he will take the intended route on Cannon Coda Strike back. We can actually go the other way, but we opt to go this way because it's actually slightly quicker and the traffic is a little bit more forgiving.
Yeah.
You'll see the alien car will go down into the pier, and because it has so much momentum, it will actually destroy that box, which is very handy for us because we just don't have to handle it anymore.
Why, I oughta...
Oh, I wanted a peanut.
Damn automatic transmission.
See, Liquid taking a good lead. This can be an easy mission to fail. If you don't get a good drive, if you're crashing about, etc., you can fail this mission. It's
Those
not
coins
impossible.
will be in the Chase Sedan crash you saw on the little mini-map. Now, Liquid may be going for the reset here. There are checkpoints that you have to get in order to activate the checkpoint. Listen, there's the checkpoint queue. There's another checkpoint he's going to get now, and that activated the finishing line.
Coming up. This is the best one to fail.
Yeah, it's only about 45 seconds to fail. But basically, you need to get every single checkpoint, otherwise you will not get the final checkpoint.
You won't get the
which
finishing
is
line
the one that
if you don't get all
activates the finishing
checkpoint.
Yeah.
So
I wonder if Liquid's a pagan and is just ignoring the sign. I'll see. We'll see how Vapo does on Duff Truck.
I know. Boards.
it's a little bit harder to get Duff Truck with car built for Homer. I find it's not as fast as the Globex.
Not necessarily,
as
as long as you've maintained speed, because the only thing that Car for Vapo has that Globex doesn't is acceleration. It's kind of like the taxi in Barton Frank. So long as you've kept momentum, you're fine.
Vapo getting very interesting strat.
No, he'll be fine, but it's not as quick as the perfect strat.
There we are. Vapo not getting a bad duff for me, duff for you at all. Very well done though.
So they're now saying that perhaps Liquid is on pace for a high 129, which would be a route PB for him as well, which would be pretty swell. Although it does say a lot about the level Liquid has available to him. Picking up enough coins, although actually too many coins, didn't actually need that vending machine at all. For shame, Liquid, for shame. Now this is where we see car build for Vapo actually having an advantage on Globex Supervillain car because it's much tougher. So we're gonna see a quicker destruction. You saw that hit right there? Liquid didn't even get half that damage with the Globex Supervillain car because of the differences of toughness. And I think this will be a significantly smoother mission for Vape than it was for Liquid. However,
Very
just
nicely
due to
done there
general
by
time
Vapo.
losses throughout this run, he's fallen so far behind. And now he actually has to get the Globex Supervillain car because this is the required mission for it. We don't just get it for the fun of it. We actually do physically have to get it. And Liquid will no longer need coins. He has the final thing he requires coins for unless he just decides for the lulz to do a 100% run.
Now get ready for the mission, the level that Liquid's in now. Just expect a lot of driving and not much else. A little bit of platforming, and the only platforming in this game actually. But other than that, just expect a lot of back and forth driving in this mission, in this level.
I personally regard Never Trust a Snake doing the getting the roof area and the monorail area as platforming because
I guess so. I guess so. In a way, I don't think it's yeah.
It's not as intensive as the nuclear plant.
Yeah, definitely not.
Yeah. Alien car moving very smoothly, although, as I say that, getting a little bit of a swerve going through there. He'll be hoping not to get anything on the barn jump, because, let's just say, those bushes are very sticky. If the alien car crashes in there, it gets stuck there for a while, and it's very annoying. Now, this is the start of 5 missions, which are basically the same thing, divided into different missions. You drive to and from the school, delivering nuclear waste. That's pretty much it. There's nothing else to it. We really do see where the budget, the development time, just sort of disappeared. Now we'll see... Okay, Liquid going for a strange route there. Normally you want to go on the right-hand side of that ramp in order to get a shorter trajectory and be airborne for less time, because obviously you have no control over your vehicle's acceleration. Although I do wonder sometimes, if it's a hover car, why can't we just hover over the whole mission?
Yeah,
you know?
You have to wonder. So basically, yeah, the reason that we're going back and forth to collect this waste is to destroy the UFO, which has ended up in the school playground. So basically, what happens in the cutscene we skip in the end of Apu is they enter the museum, and Bart and Apu discover that obviously Kang and Kodos are behind the entire operation of distributing the Buzz Cola, because it's making people sort of insane. The reason they're doing this is because they're actually filming an intergalactic reality show.
Which is not a rip-off of the Truman Show, let's just say.
Yeah. And that's the reason that these WASP cameras and black vans have been around, because they've actually been filming the people doing the ridiculous stuff. And once obviously they notice that people are trying to put a stop to this, is when we see in the Bart 2 cutscene that they're actually, you know, they put the laser stands out in Bart 2, and what they've done is they've released the Buzz Cola into the water stream. And what happens is, this is why the level's set in Halloween, because he said the dead will rise from the graves. As you can see, this has happened. And so yeah, at the end of the day, we've got to stop them. And the only way to stop them is to blow up the UFO.
So long, suckers!
And basically, on these final 4 missions, we're basically driving to and from the nuclear power plant. And this is the only mission in which we can actually choose the vehicle.
Yeah.
We use 70 Sports Car just because it's handy here. But for the rest of it, we are forced to use Little Bandit. We are forced to use World War II vehicle with the rocket at the end of it. So it does get kind of samey, but it is a mission in which you can really get better with your technique and see those kind of times fly down, because it is something you can really perfect. Meanwhile, Vapo, moving on to the Bart 2 cutscene skip, he went for the unintended route. We'll see how he does here. 3, 4 pause, 5 pause, 6 pause, 7 pauses, and he gets it. Anyone who said 6 out of 6, you were dead on about those cutscene skips. And Liquid is bang on with this platforming. As long as you get to the second last jump, you're safe. And opting to tab out, because that actually allows us to skip an animation where we basically just have to stand still.
It's crashing time!
I'll say that too. Ground pound out of Burns' manners.
Well, it's Burns' office in that case.
Oh yeah, Burns' office. Yeah, my bad. And as you can see, get used to this route because this is what we're gonna have to do 3 more times. Obviously, this being the shortest of the 3 final missions because the mission starts from the power plant. In the next 2, you're going to just be driving from the school to the power plant with, you know, tricks in between. You know, there's going to be people to escape, people are going to follow you, etc. You got to escape, and just stuff like that.
And Liquid there getting a proper route there, as I was saying earlier, using the right-hand side of the ramp in order to get a shorter trajectory and being airborne for less time. Meanwhile, Vapo is getting his final coins and will be absolutely fine. Does not need that vending machine, does not get it. And is 2 coins short, which is easy to pick up. Anything he hits will drop a coin. And he's not picked up that coin yet. Everyone keep an eye on Vapo, make sure he gets that coin. And it is achieved, but he has 501 coins, so he will have to reset.
Also, one thing about this game in particular, if you haven't noticed, is there's a lot of references to early season Simpsons. For example, this zombie car here is a reference to one of the Treehouse of Horror episodes, if you remember that, where Homer was the last person on Earth, or so he thinks. And just little nods to early season here and there throughout the game with the collector cards, the gags, just things all around the map, the cars, everything. It's a really nice touch to fans of early season Simpsons.
Yeah. Although personally it makes me sick. Anything before season 26 of Simpsons is garbage in my opinion. Some people just can't appreciate true art, you know? Now, Vapo, moving on to Long Black Probes. I actually didn't explain this when it came, but we tried to keep very close to the alien car because that way... Okay, basically, when we despawn, there's a certain distance ahead of us on which despawns will not work. Because even though we are not looking at something, it still exists because it's in that close proximity that the game has decided we need to still have it there. Obviously. So by staying very close, we create that despawn distance perfect for just in front of that alien car. And now he's trying to go ahead because, as I said, no object permanence. So therefore, we are not going to see the alien car crash into anything.
Alright, now we see, obviously, we're back in the little bandit, which we used in level 5. With Snake for the second autopsy. And as you can see, we have just drove from the school to escape the car, and now we're driving back to the school.
My sincerest apologies, everyone. I'm glad you reminded me that my phone was vibrating. Don't worry about it.
Someone pick up the phone because we called it.
Hello, it's me.
It's Vapo calling.
It's Vapo calling. He's just crying over the telephone. What's happening to me?
Alright, Liquid almost about to finish this mission. Be on to the last. Some of these cars as well, you'll notice, they're not just level specific. Like, we don't just use the little bandit for these 2 missions. You can also unlock it just to use for your own freedom. We do that via a bonus mission, which is required for actually 100% in this game. But we'll never see that in ASM. Yeah.
However, I think it's the name of the mission is Milking the Pigs, I believe. Yeah. But with Liquid opting for a quick pause.
I believe this can just barely sub 130, I believe. Which will be a very, very nice time for Liquid.
Yeah, this can, as long as Liquid's doing his normal pace, I think he get about a 129.45 or so.
Yeah,
like I'd say he's capable of a 235 or so. But yeah, shortcut button, that is actually incorrect. Well, technically speaking, it's correct. But we do get the World War II vehicle. However, we do not get the World War II vehicle with the rocket on the back. And in my opinion, that's kind of vital.
So yeah, in this car's from level 2, you do the bonus mission for Grandpa, and he'll give you the regular old World War II vehicle, not this one with the modified version with the rocket on the back, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. Well, actually, they're both Bart bonus car missions. Now, Liquid will be fine. He's not going to fail the race. To be honest, the only thing he should be worried about right now is his hit and run meter. Because basically, there are several things that can be wrong with hit and runs. First of all, you can drop the waste if something hits you hard enough. Second of all, the waste is actually an object. So you'll see when Liquid picks it up, he will get a little bit of hit and run meter. But the problem with it being a solid object is that if you get the hit and run before you get to the waist and the police car hits the waist, they can hit the waist out of bounds, and it's impossible to get because you haven't picked it up, so it's not going to reset its position anymore.
Yeah.
So hit and run can be vital here. Although I'd say as soon as you're after the cemetery in the Simpsons house, hit and run isn't that dangerous because we can take like little shortcuts to give us elevated ground, like the church car park,
yeah,
which kind of helps us avoid the things. The final
we'll see Vapo doing the platforming up to Burns' office.
Vapo will be starting the autopsies as Liquid will end them. It's just a sign of the level of play that Liquid has, that he can just put out this, even though, as people have been pointing out, a 122 cola caper, you can put out 111s or 110s on a good day. So we're talking
very nice run
potentially 11 seconds less. So let's just, subtract 11 seconds. We're looking at a 129. I think he actually stopped his timer manually there. It looked like it should have been a 129.27. It looked like it should have been a 129.15. That's 10 seconds behind the world record. So congratulations to Liquid on the win. He will be moving on. If you can fill in for a moment, I will check our bracket and say who Liquid will be facing.
GG, Liquid. Good job.
GG,
as you see,
indeed.
Vapo start the last of the free missions, the first of the free missions.
See, Liquid will be moving on to face Nostalgia. Nostalgia has very, very stern competition, and Vapo will be moving on to face. Let's see, who will he be facing? He will be facing the winner of LP3 Cinema and Project OP, which is a race that will be featuring later this week.
I believe tomorrow?
Actually, it's later today at midnight BST or 7 p.m. Eastern Standard.
I think I'm doing that one with Mango.
Let's just be honest, Raj, you're doing them all.
Yeah.
He's a ubiquitous presence within our commentary team. Get used to the Yorkshire gentleman, you'll be hearing him a lot.
Well, I know you said you weren't down for a post-match interview, Liquid, but feel free to jump in if you want to just say a few words. It's entirely up to you.
But well done on the run. That was a pretty fantastic run, considering a good few small things went a bit off as well. Okay, Liquid, you can join in if you like.
Yeah, feel free to join in. It's entirely up to you if you want to say a few things about the run.
At Bob99, I'm afraid we will be taken off the airs and removed from the internet if we use that abhorrent language. And I will not hecking stand for it. One second, I will send Liquid a link.
I've sent Liquid the invite.
Okay, grand. Liquid, did you send it via Discord DM?
Yeah, send it. Yeah, okay. Via Discord DM.
Okay, there you go. You should have it. Now, basically, on the credit screen, Kang Kodas just have some assorted comments upon the nature of the people in the credits, saying things like, "What's the difference between an associate producer and an executive producer?" Just kind of filler stuff while you watch the whole thing pass by. Okay, Liquid Waifu is on the air. How are you doing?
Who called me Liquid Waifu?
I have been the one intentionally mispronouncing names all run. Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
First of all, congratulations. I mean, realistically, a 129.15.
Yeah. Not bad.
Is that a route PB?
Most definitely by about. Yeah. Well, this run is about a minute route PB.
Yeah. Good job. Were there any points in the run where you thought, "Oh no, this isn't going quite right. Can Vapo catch up?"
Cola trucks. It's pretty much the only thing that I can think that went really, really badly.
Yeah. Well, mind you, Vapo also had a pretty bad cola trucks, which was unfortunate. So.
Yeah.
So.
Vapor's run doesn't seem too bad in general.
No, Vapor's a really good run here. He's done really well. Both runners have done really well.
And why did you decide to debate us so much?
I was gonna fail APU cutscene skip intentionally. but just to make the race a bit more interesting. But I saw I was on okay pace, so
Yeah.
I decided to go all in.
Was there a moment where you thought maybe this is gonna WR, or perhaps a moment when you thought this isn't gonna WR?
I didn't think it was gonna world record, but I got a feeling, like I had a really good feeling it was going to sub 130. More or less, I think that, like, I thought there might be a chance that until set to kill happened where I went the wrong way because I'm an idiot. That was a fantastic way.
What was that? Were you in like in the mode for Labco Caper or something?
I don't know. But also, I kind of immediately stopped caring about the run as soon as I stood at the start for 12 seconds. So
yeah,
that was pretty good.
At that point.
So
So
you're
going to go up against Nostalgia next. So how do you feel about
Yeah, you know.
Should be
I'm
another
excited.
good race. Nostalgia's a good runner.
And do you have any words for the vanquished runner, Vapo, La Lapin, aka Fake Lapin? I don't know.
Fake laughing.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm just sort of riffing here, but have you got any words for your vanquished foe?
I only won because he pause buffers on ARPU cutscene skip.
Yeah. I've never seen any.
Good race. Vapor time looking like a low 135, which is pretty
Yeah, it is.
respectable for a race. So
Very good, very good. And after this, you've knocked out one of the better runners in this.
Well,
Obviously,
he's only going to the losers bracket, so he can still get there. He can get into the final that way.
takes losers bracket by storm.
So I assume, are you pretty confident that you're able to win the entire thing?
Now Scythe will destroy me, I reckon.
Do you think? Well, we'll
I
have to
reckon
wait and see
Scythe
on
is
that.
going to be a bit of a challenge,
Yeah, oh, definitely, without a doubt.
providing he gets to the end, which I expect him to.
He should do, yeah. You would have
But
thought so.
it depends on how losers goes as well, because Orc could bring it back and Vapor could be out for vengeance afterwards. So
Just
You've also
hold on.
potentially got to face me, so that's also something to worry about.
Yeah, and why are we discounting me as the possible winner of the tournament? Excuse me.
it's my personal predictions.
And we see Vapo
Vapo-
just about finished there with a lower
Yeah,
135.
Vapor looking like he's about to finish.
Good
At
job, Vapo.
135.41. and
Vapor. Yeah,
Does
Vapor.
Vapor want
My
to
run
come
was
in here?
okay. My run was okay.
Good job to both runners. It was a good race. It was entertaining as always.
Yeah, my baby van was really good.
Your baby van was extremely good.
it was
Also, did you
remarkable,
guys
yeah.
see what happened on the last cola truck? That was
Yeah, that was
strong.
insane.
Yeah, that was really good. When you go smash straight into the fence, that was really good.
Yeah.
Mm.
So Vapo, are we? I don't think we're gonna get many words from Vapo.
He might type in the chat.
Yeah, let's Vapo. If you got anything to say, please feel free. Let us know. But yeah, overall a very good race. Very good
Or you
race.
could just count to 10 if you. Yeah. You don't need to pressure Vapo.
Did Vapor get all cutscene skips?
Vapo
You
did,
got
yes.
every single cutscene
No.
skip, yeah.
Very nice.
My run was bad. Surprised it was a low 135.
Vapor can get like a 131, 130.
Yeah, he can definitely. Vapor's a very good player.
Rob,
Playing all the
you
different
need-
categories as well. Is also
Vapor is
really
very consistent at this game.
You need to do another voice if you're voicing Vapo. Just pick another voice and say Vapo's lines.
good. Yeah, I'll try not to. Thanks. Thanks anyway.
But
Yeah.
I'm not. I imagine we're running over time due to the difficulty in the starting of the race, which again we apologize for. Although, keep in mind that we are working with like East Coast American times, so
Yeah,
dealing
yeah.
with this Aussie who I care to mention, my waifu. It's kind of difficult to deal with that, and people, everyone's volunteer, so they got to do what they got to do. But thanks to everyone. And
This run.
So, yeah,
I think
thanks
it's
for being
129,
patient with us.
26.
Yeah, it's a wrap, PV. I'm gonna have to go back and retime. Damn it.
So yeah, thanks for being patient with us at the start. We managed to get there in the end. So
And
Purple.
GG, well played to Vapo and Liquid.
yeah, very good job. Any more words to say before we're done here?
I'm excited to race you, Rog.
Yes.
That's
I
about
look
it.
forward to a penetration. To put it lightly. Oh, good lord. Right, I believe we're all done here. Thanks everyone for watching. We're going to be back on later tonight for the LP3 LP3 and Project OP race.
And I think
That
there's a
will
race in
be me
between now and then.
Mango. Is there? I'm not too sure. I
Yes,
haven't checked.
Spam78 and Pop Tart Pony are going to
Okay.
be racing at 8 p.m. BST, 3 p.m. EST.
Right. So yeah, thanks everyone for watching. We're going to be here again. You know, we're not going anywhere yet. There's still plenty more Simpsons to come. So
I wonder if that's a blessing or a curse
I
for
don't know. So we're all finished here.